Hey everybody, Ryan FMG, and before we talk about today's deck, please pet the little corgi in the bottom right of your screen. That's the sub button, and each and every sub means a lot to me. So, we talked a lot about the new cards. We've brewed up a couple new decks using a lot of the new cards and kind of new archetypes of spirits as well as slow decks. What are we doing today? We're going back down memory lane of Wesker Uroboros. Obviously, to no one's surprise, I really love this deck, and I really like to try out new cards to see how good or bad they are in this type of deck. That's what we're doing today. The main reason why I want to test this deck out right now is Return from the Dead. This is a brand new card. It is 5 MP. Place a random unit from your graveyard onto the field. So basically, it's more or less a rebirth, right? But without the downside of the -1/-1. However, the big downside is it doesn't cost 3 MP, it costs 5 MP. But 5 MP is still okay because all of our units cost either, between 6 and 8 MP. So you are still getting an MP reduction on big, beefy units that you want to get back from the graveyard. So is this going to be too slow and too clunky? I don't know. But right now, it looks really, really good. We are playing a playset because I want to draw it and play it as much as possible. The other new card that we are playing is Tenkai. This is 6 MP for a 3/5. Doesn't sound great, but it has more. It has Revenge of +1/+3. Okay, getting better. I don't love just like Revenge units in Uroboros decks like, Tyrant or Zombie and stuff. But what I really like is the when placed on the field, deal 3 damage to the unit in front. Your hero gains life equal to the damage dealt. Shooting something for 3 damage is fantastic. Also, gaining 3 life is very good. And then the revenge cost kicks in. This becomes a 3 MP for 8 that has that effect. That all seems really good. And the thing that I like most is this is a when placed on the field. So if this is in your graveyard and you Uroboros it back or rebirth or however you resurrect it back from the graveyard, this is placed on the field and that trigger still happens. Now, you could be like, well, you're adding 3 units, so obviously you have to be taking out some units. What did we take out for this? We took out Executioner. I really like Executioner, but you have to be the Uroboros mill. And that has some pros and cons, because you could play like Death's Execution, stuff like that. Executioner is no questions asked, it will kill the unit in front. However, that is a when played ability. So if you resurrect back Executioner, that does not trigger. And that is a big downside because then you're just playing a unit for raw stats and I want more. So I kind of want to see how Tenkai feels. The rest of the deck is similar to cards that we've played before. Yet again, since we kicked out Executioner, we kind of kicked out all the mill package, which that is 6, right? Cursed Choice as well as Death's Execution. And we kind of added back the False Thrones as well as some legendaries of Valor and Forbidden Fruit because, hey, that stuff is just good on big, beefy creatures, but especially on Orochi because we can still play Orochi. And we're doing Dark Exchange. This is a card that goes back and forth in my lists, but I kind of feel like getting burned by this card right now. So that's the deck. We thought there might be a rotation when BOA came out, but spoiler alert, nope, there is no rotation. So we can still play all the Day of Nightmare cards, and that's why we're still playing Uroboros in Standard today. So let's jump into the games and see how we can do. Starting off against the new DD, let's keep this hand. We have 10K in our hand, so that's great to, good research for science, as it were. Let's just do this, because this just kills it 1 hit. Yes, I don't know what I was going to say yes about. Or yes, we could start with Devil, a bigger threat, but this seems fine. And let's do this, because that +1 attack, this was already going to be a trade there. Okay. Agility Boy is a little bit better, especially that we can't Fate of the Unworthy. But as soon as we can, Tyrant... This is fine. This is feeling a little slow, right? Like we spent 6 MP, 6 MP, play another 6 MP thing. And it's good. It's just, I don't know, I want to cheat on MP more. I'm expecting they have some resurrection action going here. This is great, because this monkey boy is going to hit, flip our tyrant, and die. And we'll probably just wait for Orochi. Like, we could kill that, but I don't really care about that dude. Yeah, we probably just wait for Orochi that we could use our hero power, get back a slow tyrant.
Nothingness is coming. So many flowers. It's alright if I pick some, isn't it?
Or we can even get back a fast tyrant. Let's just place him here. Let's do our hero power. We could have waited till we have like a devil, but I kind of just want to put as much pressure in as possible. That's a little unfortunate that we got the slow tyrant, especially like I wouldn't mind slow tyrant in the bottom lane. Is what it is though. Now let's see. I think I kind of want to wait because I really want to try to flip this, but I don't know if I want to keep on taking. Ooh, now I do.
Fall into the abyss.
I want to. That's fine. I was thinking that this was the legendary, by the way. That's why I was like, oh, now I do, but no, this is not the legendary. I don't care that much anymore. Let's do this. Hopefully something dies soon. Okay, this will... Although this will flip. Okay, well, we're doing fine. We don't need to flip this in game life. We're doing grand. This... A 3-3 Orochi is still going to be putting stuff in work. And we have nothing to do here, but our opponent's at 4, and Uroboros for the win. Let's go! Ooh, a mirror match? This seems fun. Let's keep this, because we are only playing 2 devils, because our other 8-drop is Orochi. And so we can false throw it into Rebirth here. And I probably will say, rather than Orochi, I'll probably say Oichi sometimes, but you know what I mean. And let's go. We maybe could have waited, but I'm just going to play our big fatty now. Right, this was 5 MP play. If they... Sure. So we spent 2 cards, 5 MP, and that was a 6 MP play for them. So we're technically up on that exchange. Doesn't feel good. Technically up though. However, we technically spent MP, we're up. Cards, that was kind of 3 cards and they dealt with it with 1 card. But MP usually means a little bit more, especially in like a mirror match like this. I think we're just going to be placing this in the middle when we get 10. We're probably both going to flip our dude. Oh, wow, they flipped it a little bit with... Okay, so someone else is trying some new cards. And that is a point. Sometimes you will play the new 6-drop without getting the 3, dealing 3 damage, and that does feel bad. I think the opponent was good with that play because they really wanted to flip their gore, so that made sense. It's just a little unfortunate, that sequencing. Wonder if we just do this. Yeah, I think we take our 2-for-1. Because now we could use our hero power, get back the devil. Oh, no, Gore. Get back Gore, which is fantastic. No, actually, it doesn't really matter. Do we do that? I guess. I shouldn't have thought, because we either do it or we don't do it. Where pausing there puts less pressure and wasn't really worthwhile to pause there. Besides, if I paused and was like, no, I'll decide not to do it. But if you're going to do it, just do it. I wonder if we... Let's just do this for free. Get 3 attacks, seems fine. And yeah, because yet again they're playing like Sigma with Revenge, and Sigma's great, but I've said it time and time again, you can't resurrect it. Let's do this. Let's do our highest MP cost because we're kind of a little okay. We just want a beefier unit. And we're just kind of chilling around for a little bit. Oh. Okay. Because this dude's just going to be lethal. Let's do this. Seems like they're just cycling or trying to get to the 22 AP to use Uroboros. And okay, that's what I thought. I thought we might not actually have something. But so therefore, I was going to say, but that's fine that we did it. But no, that's still a mistake. We should not have played it. But round 3 against Jill. Do we keep this hand? Sure. We have a 10k in hand. We have False Throne. Feels good. We have a way to kill something. So if they play Bat, we could just drop this in front of it so then they can't, like, you know, get another detonation or something like that. We could just False Throne here. Because I kind of want to have them play first.
You think you can stand against a god?
So the shield will actually have these trades. So do I want to save my dude with doing Fate? And I think no, because Fate can be better later on in the game. I'll quickly do this so they don't get anything. Dark Exchange doesn't really do anything. We could just cycle through it. I think we just pass. A little unfortunate. I would like to use our... Ooh, that's pretty good. Because now that card feels a little rough, right? Without getting the revenge. We could just cycle this. Because I kind of want to draw more things like a rebirth or something like that. So yeah, let's just cycle this. We already have something in our graveyard that we could get back. Sure. And by cycle, like, it might do something, right? And that's fine. It's just, it was free. Yes, we gave our opponent some free MP as well, though.
Now we're talking. There's no point with this. Just accept it.
Yep. That card's great. Could do this just to cycle, but I don't think that's worth it. We could use our hero power, and I think we're going to because we kind of have a lot of high cost cards, and so we might as well use our hero power. That's fantastic. I kind of forgot that our first play was Fate. That feels that's why you play Fate of the Unworthy, and then you forget about it, and then Orochi's just like, yo, I got you. And of course they have that. Let's do this. Just to throw around more and more and more damage. Let's kill this so it doesn't actually take up any damage soaking. So hopefully just more goes to face.
Now we're talking.
Really want to get this off, so I think we'll play this and then wait.
No, I can't. I can't let it end here.
No, I think we have to just hold because then maybe this will trade off here. That seems better.
You're finished. Give up already.
I don't want to just use Fate here. This is where our resurrection spell is feeling like 5 MP is kind of a lot. I just want to do a 2 MP play because I want to, like, you know, be able to play a monster or a devil sooner rather than later.
No, I can't. I can't let it end here. You're finished. Give up already.
Well, I would love to do this, but we need to wait for this to die first. Oh man, this feels fantastic. Because that would have been like a game ender. That would be 12 damage right there, then 4 damage. So that feels great. They're just kind of cycling through. Unfortunately, we're at 21. I wish we were at 22, so now we could use our hero power and start to get the pressure going. But they still have their -1/+1 effect for 4 seconds. We could do this. Let's do this now, so if they do something, we can actually follow it up with another return from the dead. Oh wow, we have nothing in our grave. No, we have stuff in our graveyard, and we're probably just dead to this. Ryu, that feels bad. Jill just having legendary stuff over and over. It's kind of hard for us to deal with. Yeah. Because now this is just dealing 12 damage with agility. Oh, we have nothing in our graveyard. Okay. I've been pretty poor about... Yeah, we're just dead. I've been pretty poor about keeping track of what we have in our graveyard and stuff, but... didn't really matter. That Ryu was just going to kill us anyways. Up against Zero to Koha for the 4th and final round. Let's see. Let's keep this. We have Living Death. It feels a little bad not having like any resurrection spells or any other action than Living Death, but hey, Living Death is fantastic. So we'll just kind of play the slow game of, you know, 6-drop into 6-drop and all that jazz. But we'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there. Well, hopefully. If get there means win the game, hopefully. If get there means we can throw around Living Death, we definitely will get there. Threw Tyrant down because Tyrant wants to get flipped sooner rather than later. But this will actually kill all of that. So Tyrant's just going to be there for a little bit. Let's do Devil here to kill that. And also, I'm kind of waiting for these because we do have Living Death, so we want to make sure we have some big beefy threats in our graveyard so that when we Living Death, we're getting back the full value. That's a lot of damage right there. Oh, so much damage. Will this hit first? No. Wow, that big beefy damage was so much. Do we take 7? Because I think we have to Living Death here. I think if we did something else, we're just dead. Like, we're really close to being dead now. Because they have flyers. Unfortunate that... Well, I mean, I should say fortunate that we got the +6, so now we're at 7. I'm not sure why my mind went from worst case scenario. Unfortunate, we gain life. No, life is a good thing. And now we have these dudes. Boom, explode our board. Let's get back and gain some more life. Let's gain more life. Ah, too bad the spillover didn't go first. We were so close to cruel game. Come on, like devil in the bottom lane. That was extremely close, and we lost. Even with all our life gain, we still lost. Well, we just did an unfortunate 2-2, I believe, and that is not the best record, right? However, it's not the worst, right? It's 50-50. How do I think Uroboros is in this meta? It's a little bit too hard to tell because this meta is so brand new and everything is changing every single day. However, since Day of Nightmares didn't rotate out, Uroboros is still going to be someplace in the meta because you're playing with so many intrinsically powerful cards like Rebirth and Living Death and Tyrant, and it's going to be good. Maybe not the best, but it's going to be good, and you better bet on it that I will be playing more and more of this throughout the season. Now, let's talk about the 6 new cards, or well, really 2 new cards that we played a playset of each, of Return from the Dead. Return from the Dead felt good when we drew it, right? 5 MP is a lot, but when you do 5 MP and get a Devil or a flipped Gore back or something like that, it feels very good. Even 5 MP for a Tyrant, you're still up on MP. I do like it. It's definitely not as good as Rebirth or something like that. Maybe Return from the Dead might just be a 2 of and not a 3 of, but I am liking it. Now, the big question is, how do I feel about Tenkai? A little bit less. The 3 damage, when it doesn't kill something, it feels bad. If it kills something, it feels really good. But if it doesn't kill something, then you just have a 3-5 body. And yet again, a 3-5 body is nothing to scoff at, but you spent 6 MP for a 3-5 body. So you really want that 3 damage to kill something. You gain 3 life, and that's good. And Revenge, but yet again, I don't love Revenge in Uroboros type of decks because it doesn't go to the graveyard, or when it does eventually go to the graveyard, it's later on in the game. I do really like the synergy of the one place ability, kind of like what I talked about in the deck tech, that no matter when this comes into play or where it comes into play from, you are dealing the 3 damage. But day in, day out, I still think I like Executioner more because just destroying something that's 6 MP or less is such a bigger thing than having Revenge and dealing 3 damage. However, Executioner being a, when played is not as good as a when placed ability, and Executioner does make you want to be playing a mill package, so it is a little bit more build around. But am I going to be playing Tenkai more and more with Uroboros? I don't know. We drew him quite often, and it wasn't terrible, but I do think that there's other better cards to be playing, have it be Executioner or just something else. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about Uroboros. I'm really happy to build around more with this deck, try out more different new cards. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later.
Hadouken!